G'day and welcome. Welcome to another video of Life on the Lick Run. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit today about my lick feeding program. I've done a bit of footage so far, as you'd know, on the water lick side of things. But what I haven't shown much about is the bit I do with the dry lick side of things, which is in this bag here. Now, in my dry lick, I feed just salt, sulfur and calcium. Now, in this area, there's not a lot of focus on salt and sulfur, whereas just not far to the east of here, like 50 kilometers away sort of thing, is the basalt country, and they have a really big focus on salt and sulfur. In fact, a lot of fellas only feed just salt and sulfur and nothing else. So I thought, well, that's probably something I should look at, trying to get sulfur into me cattle. The sulfur is sort of something that's good for ticks, keeps ticks and buffalo fly off the cattle. And when I looked at the reports, studies done of feeding sulfur, I thought that was a fairly important ingredient to be feeding. But you can't get sulfur that's dissolvable in water. So that's when I thought, well, I'm going to have to feed it with salt to get the sulfur into the cattle and feed it dry. And I then thought about calcium and thought, well, maybe I should feed some calcium as well. I hadn't been feeding calcium before that. So what I did was I just went and bought just an ordinary dry calcium, and instead of experimenting with the water side of things, because I haven't done any experiments with putting it in the water in the tank, so I just put the calcium straight in with the salt and the sulfur, just because it's sort of a lot easier than having to do experiments with the water side of things. So that's what I wanted to talk about a bit today, and just show the footage of putting the salt and sulfur and calcium in the lick trough. Now I mix my own brew of salt, sulfur and calcium, which I'll do footage on that over time. But for now, I just wanted to show a little bit about putting that mix in the lick trough. So let me show you. Alright, so you can see the lick in the trough. As you can see, it's just, I'll get it up close to the camera. So it's just a case of that salt with the yellow sulfur, and I don't know whether the camera will show it, but the salt looks fairly white, and that's the calcium sticking to the salt. Now these lick tires, I just make these myself. So that's just a sheet of aluminium bolted around there like that, and then as you can see, it's just two tires on top of one another, and the top tire has the two walls cut out. So I'll do a separate video in the future of making one of these for anybody who might be interested as well. Alright, we'll continue on to the next lick trough. that's about all I've got on this one. I just wanted to show the importance of dry lick in my lick feeding program along with the water lick. So I hope you enjoyed this video of life on the lick run. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.